Okay, so for those who were not able to attend our online class yesterday, so this lesson is for you. So yesterday night we talked about what is macro perspective. So what is macro perspective? Macro means large, broad, or overall. In simple terms, it means you are looking at the bigger picture. Okay? So macro is a big picture. It looks at the larger systems, groups, trends, and forces rather than focusing on just one person or one situation. So instead of looking at one simple problem, so for instance, we have a problem like few guests are coming in our hotel. So konti lang yung guests na pupunta sa hotel natin. So that is the simple problem. But instead of looking at the simple problem, we're going to look at the bigger picture. So that is macro. Okay? How about perspective? What does it mean, perspective? Perspective is the way a person sees, understands, interprets, or thinks about a situation or issue. In simple words, that is the way you see things. It could be your point of view plus interpretation plus understanding. When we say point of view, that is where you stand or how you look at a situation. Okay, that is your stand. So for example, in political perspective, so BBM, if you are anti-BBM or pro-BBM or anti-DDS or pro-DDS. So where you stand. Sino ka doon? So that is your point of view. Okay? Interpretation, so how you explain or give meaning to what you see. So that is your interpretation. In religious perspective, let's say we have different types of religion in the Philippines. Like for instance, we have Catholic, we have Muslim, and then we have Buddhist. Okay? So our interpretation in each religion is different because we have or somebody taught us or somebody explain us or give meaning in each religion. That's why we have different interpretation. Okay? So kung ikaw ay Catholic, naniniwala kayo sa sacrament. If you are Muslim, they believe in Quran, which is their Bible. And they believe in Allah, which is their God. Okay? And then, if you are Buddhist, then you can achieve peace by following some doctrines or some teachings. So you have different interpretation. Okay? So yung understanding natin nagkakaiba because of that interpretation. So what you comprehend or learn from those things are actually different because iba-iba tayo ng interpretation. Okay? So that is perspective. That is our point of view plus interpretation plus understanding. Okay? Let me explain it to you further. So ito yung ginamit namin example kahapon. Okay? So for example, you have your political perspective. Okay? So let's say you are anti-BBM. If you are anti-BBM, you believe that the current administration should improve transparency, accountability, and its response to economic challenges. Why? Because you are anti-BBM. So naniniwala ka na ang current administration should improve their transparency, their accountability, and its response to economic challenges. So hindi ka naniniwala na ang kinakaharap nating problema sa ekonomiya or you are not satisfied with the economic growth of the Philippines. Why? Because you are anti-BBM. Now, if you are pro-BBM naman, you believe that the current administration's infrastructure projects, the economic programs, and the foreign investments will benefit the country in the long run. Okay? Kasi ikaw ay pro-BBM. How about if you are anti-DDS? Pag anti-DDS ka, you believe that the previous administrations, which is the anti-drug campaign, should have placed greater emphasis on due process and human rights. Okay? So that is your perspective because you are anti-DDS. But if you are pro-DDS, you would believe that the previous administrations, which is the anti-crime and anti-drug campaign, improved peace and order in many communities. So naniniwala ka na yung anti-crime and anti-drug campaign na ginawa ni DDS caused us peace and order. So nagkaroon tayo ng kapayapaan, nagkaroon tayo ng order because of that anti-crime and anti-drug campaign. Why do you believe that? Because you are pro-DDS. So that is our political perspective. Okay? So we have different perspective because we have different point of view. Iba-iba tayo ng paniniwala. We have different way to see things. And then, we have different interpretation. Why? Because iba-iba rin tayo ng pinaniniwalaan. We have different understanding. Kasi iba nga yung ating paniniwala. Okay? Let's move on to the religious perspective. Okay? So in religious perspective, let's say you are a Catholic. So pag Katoliko ka, you believe that faith in God, participation in the sacraments, and living according to Christian teachings guide a meaningful and moral life. So kung sumusunod ka kay Kristo sa mga katuruan ni Jesus Christ, that will guide you meaningful and moral life. So ang paggawa ng mabuti ay most of the Catholics, they believe that ang paggawa ng mabuti ay mapupunta sa langit. So that is Catholic perspective. Okay? But do you know that hindi lang Katoliko ang naniniwala sa Diyos, which is the Jesus Christ. Okay? Baptist. Meron tayong Baptist, meron tayong Adventist. Meron din tayong Protestant, which is the Methodist. They all believe in Jesus Christ, but they have different sect. Iba-iba sila ng sekta. Okay? But, do you know that those religions also believe in Jesus Christ? We don't call them religions. Those sect, ang tawag natin sa Catholic, sa Baptist, sa INC, they are sect. Okay? Yung katuruan nila, which is the Catholic, which is yung doctrine nila, yun yung natawag nating relihiyon. Okay? So that is their religious perspective. Why? Kasi iba-iba sila ng katuruan. Yung tinatawag nating doctrine or doktrina sa Tagalog. So, since iba-iba sila ng katuruan, iba-iba din tayo ng perspective. So, iba-iba tayo ng tingin sa Jesus Christ. Although, isa lang pala yung Diyos natin. Okay? Naintindihan ba natin? We have different perspective because we have different interpretation and we have different understanding kasi iba-iba tayo ng point of view. Okay? So that is our perspective. Another one. If you are Buddhist, so many Buddhists believe that inner peace, the compassion, the mindfulness, and following the Noble Eightfold Path will help reduce suffering and lead to enlightenment. So they don't believe in God. They believe in inner peace, compassion, mindfulness, and this so-called Noble Eightfold Path. Okay? So that is their perspective. That is their point of view in life. How about Muslim? So kung ikaw naman ay isang Muslim, you believe that submitting to the will of Allah, which is their God, following the teachings of the Quran, which is their Bible, and practicing the 5 pillars of Islam lead to a righteous life. Okay? So, iba rin ang kanilang point of view, which is their perspective. Okay, naintindihan ba natin? So, this is their perspective, no? Napakalaking bagay niyan. Kaya nga hindi tayo pwedeng magtalo-talo when it comes to politics and religion. Why? Because we have different perspective. We have different interpretation. And we have different understanding. Okay? So did you understand, everyone? So that is actually the word perspective. Okay? So let us go back. Okay? So let us have an example in terms of hospitality and tourism. Okay? So for example, let us imagine a tourist destination becomes very popular. So meron isang tourist destination, naging famous siya. Okay? So let's say you are the hotel owner. So ang perspective ng isang hotel owner, he would think that tourism is good because my hotel earns more money. Kasi naging famous yung isang lugar. So maraming turista na pupunta sa lugar na yon. So, ibig sabihin nun, yung hotel owner, mas marami siyang mas marami siyang magiging customer. Okay? Mas maraming darating na customer sa kanya. Okay? What if you are the local resident? So if you are the local resident, you would think that the tourism is good because it creates jobs. So magkakaroon ng maraming trabaho sa lugar ninyo. But you would also think that those tourists would cause traffic in your area. Okay? So yun yung kaisipan ng isang lokal na residente. What if you are the environmentalist? So kung isa ka namang environmentalist, isipin mo na ang turismo ay harmful. Why? Because it produces too much waste. Okay? So can you look at those 3 persons? The hotel owner, the local resident. Okay, the hotel owner, the local resident, and the environmentalist. Look at this one. They are looking at the same tourism situation, but they have different perspective. Okay? Magkakaiba-iba sila ng point of view. Magkakaiba sila ng interpretation. And magkakaiba rin sila ng understanding. Why? Kasi iba-iba sila ng kapakinabangan. Iba-iba yung benefits na nakukuha nila. Okay? That's why they have different perspective. Okay? So let us repeat once again, what is macro perspective? Macro perspective is a broad, big picture view of tourism. So it examines tourism as a global and national phenomenon and its wide-ranging impacts and interrelationships. Okay? So we're going to discuss more of that in our next topic. Let us just discuss the key relationships in the economic factors. So in economic factors, macro perspective looks at inflation, employment, income, exchange rates, and economic growth. Ano ibig sabihin nun? So for example, sa isang airline, konti lang yung pumupuntang, konti lang yung pasahero, o konti lang yung bumibili ng airline tickets. So as a manager or as an airline manager, you would think, or you would not only think on the simple problem. Hindi mo lang iisipin na, konti lang yung pasahero. So what would be the problem, or what seems to be the problem? But as a manager, you're going to look at the bigger picture, and that is the economic factors. So these days, there is a high inflation happening in our country. There are only few employments. Okay? There are less income. Mababa ang exchange rates. And there is a decline in economic growth. So ganun po ang kaisipan ng isang manager. We are not only looking at the simple problem, but we are looking actually at the bigger picture. And that is why we have to look at the economic factors. Alright, naintindihan ba? Okay. How about the tourism trends? Ano bang trends ngayon sa turismo? So if you're a manager, pag konti lang ang pasahero ninyo or konti lang ang inyong guests sa hotel or sa restaurant, then you would think the tourism trends. You're going to study the tourism trends. So what are those tourism trends? We're going to look at the tourist preferences. Ano ba yung preferences ng mga tourists ngayon? Ano ba yung kanilang travel patterns? Okay? Then you're going to study the international tourism. Why? Because that directly affect hotel occupancy, the restaurant demand, kaya konti lang kumakain sa inyong restaurant, and other hospitality services. Okay? So we have to look at the tourism trends. Okay? Next one, the social and cultural factors. Kamusta na kaya ang lifestyle ng mga tao ngayon? How about their culture? May nabago ba? Sino-sino yung mga pupunta ngayon or mahilig mag-travel? Or sino-sino yung mga usual na kumakain sa inyong restaurant? Are they family? Are they couple? Or are they businessmen? Or baka sila ay magbabarkada? So that is demographics. Okay? Then, what is their expectation as a guest? What is their guest expectation? So that is what we call the social and cultural factors. So as a manager, you are not only looking at the simple problem, but you are going to look at the social and cultural factors. Why? Because that will help you design a better service and experience. Okay? Next one, government and policies. Sa lahat ng bansa, meron tayong tinatawag na government or policies. So, kamusta naman ang kanilang tourism regulations? Sa Korea, hindi tayo pwedeng pumunta nang wala tayong visa. But the Koreans can go everywhere around the world without having they have also the tourist visa. They also need the tourist visa. Pero pero tayo, hindi tayo makakapunta sa Korea nang wala tayong visa. We can only go there in Jeju Island. Kung gusto mong pumunta sa Korea nang walang tourist visa, pumunta ka sa Jeju Island. Okay? So dito, pag nag-stay ang Korean, they can stay here for 21 days as a tourist. How about us? Ilang araw kaya tayo pwede mag-stay sa kanilang bansa as a tourist? Okay? So that affects the immigration policies. Okay? Taxation. Also, in one government, there is what we call safety requirements. So ano yung mga safety requirements? Ano yung kanilang government programs? So we need to study all of those things. Why? Because it can affect how hospitality businesses operate. As a manager, kailangan nyo siyang maintindihan. Or as a future manager, kailangan nyo siyang maintindihan. Okay? So government and policies. Technology. Kamusta naman ang inyong business when it comes to technology? So there is a huge advancement of technology nowadays. Okay? So for example, there is a long queue. Napakahaba ng pila sa inyong front desk. So how are you going to accommodate that? So first, of course, as a manager, you're going to look at the online booking system. So marami na tayong ngayong online booking platforms. Okay? They're all actually using the artificial intelligence. So sa mga chat box, you don't need to hire customer service. Pwede nang maging 24 hours yung customer service ninyo. Why? Because you could provide artificial intelligence. So chatbot na ang sumasagot sa mga customer service nowadays. Okay? Digital payments. We also already have GCash, PayMaya. Sa ibang bansa, we have Wise. Okay? Wise platform. And then, most of the banks nowadays, they already provide online payments. Okay? So, digital payments na tayo ngayon. Sa China, kahit sentimo, hindi ka na pwedeng magbayad ng bill. You have to use the, anong gamit nila doon? WeChat. Okay? Yeah. So, kailangan na nilang gumamit ng digital payment. Okay? Then, next, how are you going to reach your customers? Where are you going to create your brand? So, we already have this social media marketing. Okay? And everything is already automation. So, I am actually, what do you call that? I am a funnel designer, and we understood or we implemented this automation in social media marketing. Okay? So, ganun na kataas ang ating teknolohiya. We need less manpower. So, lahat na ay robotics, lahat na ay AI, artificial intelligence. Okay? So, if your business doesn't use this technology, then you would be left behind. And as a future manager, ngayon pa lang may AI na. How about pag gumraduate na kayo? Ano na kaya ang susunod na technology? So, you have to study everything. Okay? How about environmental sustainability? By the way, ma'am, ayoko pala maging manager. Well, kahit ayaw mo maging manager, for example, you just like to be a chef or you just like to be a waiter. Not just, sorry. Kung gusto mo maging waiter, gusto mo maging chef, maging cook, line cook, or maging waiter, you still have to study this. Why? Because it all has relation to business. So, ang isang business, they would hire you if you have this business mindset. How are you going to help their business? And remember, most of us, we're not going to work in the Philippines. So, we're going to work abroad. So, we have to meet their international standard. So, that's why we have to understand hospitality management. How do they manage this business? Okay? So, kung wala kayong concern when it comes to, let's say, environmental sustainability, so itong mga to lumalabas to sa job interview. Okay? So, for example, tinanong kayo, what do you think about the climate change and how does it affect our business in the future? So, how are you going to answer that? Okay? So, if you wanted to go abroad, kailangan nyo ng experience in at least 4-star and 5-star hotel. Okay? Why? That is how their standard. That is how you meet their standard, the international standard. Yung mga 5-star and 4-star hotel, they actually implemented the international standard. And as a hospitality management student, we also have to study that. If you wanted to earn around 1 million or 2 million to 5 million in a year, that is 160,000 per month and 1,500 per hour. So gusto nyo ba yun? Then you have to study this. Okay? So what is environmental sustainability? So in environmental sustainability, we're going to look at the climate change, the natural disasters. These days, sobrang maulan. Actually, almost 3 weeks nang umuulan, so non-stop, no? Then, now, as a future manager, how are you going to cope up with those natural disasters? Okay? So ngayon, for sure, konti lang ang pupunta sa hotel and restaurants. So what are you going to do? Konti lang ang bumibili ng airline tickets. So as a future manager, ano ang gagawin mo? Bakit kaya merong 1 peso airline ticket? So why do you think? Bakit may discount? Why do they offer discount? So what is the reason behind that? Kasi gusto lang nila? No. That is part of their management. Okay? Waste management. How are you going to manage that waste in your area? And how are you going to sustain the tourism? Why do you need to understand all of those things? Because that will influence decisions about the energy, the water, the resources, and the hotel operations. Nakikita nyo naman ngayon, very flooded na ang most of the areas in Manila. Right? Why? Because there is waste management. There is a lack of waste management implementation. Okay? Ang natural disasters, hindi natin yan may iwasan. Pero yung waste management, if we don't have this, if we are lack of this, then that natural disasters will not only change the climate, but will also influence our resources. And that will affect our business in the future. Okay? So, let us summarize our topic. So this is actually the simple connection of macro perspective. So macro perspective, we're going to look at the external factors affecting tourism. So what are those 6 factors? So we have number 1, economic factor, tourism trends, social and cultural factor, 4, government and policies, technology, and then the environmental sustainability. Then, from those factors, we're going to be looking at the behavior and demand of the tourists. That will affect our hospitality operations, or that will influence our decisions when it comes to our operation. Why? Because our end goal here is to satisfy our guest experience and to gain profit. That is our business performance. Okay? So that is the simple connection of macro perspective. So let us just have a simple explanation regarding this. So for example, if inflation increases, tumaas ang presyo ng bilihin, sa travel may become more expensive. Ibig sabihin, fewer people may travel. Or they may choose cheaper accommodations. That is the reason why we provide or pinag-aaral natin kung paano natin masasatisfy yung customers or yung guests pero hindi naman malulugi yung ating kumpanya. Okay? That's why we give discounts, freebies, perks in our operation. Okay? So remember, higher prices lead to lower demand and smarter spending. Okay? So sa takbo ng ekonomiya natin ngayon, there is a inflation, there is a huge inflation. According to my professor in MBA, there is a 6% inflation in our economic growth. So napakataas daw nun. Compare mo sa mga nakaraang inflation rates. So that 6% is actually huge. Okay? So ibig sabihin, ang mga tao, mas pipiliin pa nila magstay sa kanilang bansa kesa mag-travel. Okay? So, or they may choose cheaper accommodations. Kaya as a manager, you're going to create budget-friendly accommodation. So, magbibigay ka ng discounts or perks or freebies. Okay? So, I hope you understand. Now, this is our assignment. So, as a future manager, how would you respond if inflation increases? So, smart managers adapt, plan, and create value even when costs rise. So, as a future manager, how would you respond if inflation increases? Okay? So, that is our today's activity. So, see you and have a great day. Nya, hindi naman na record.